The lights of the 82nd annual Golden Globes ceremony sparkled brilliantly. A dazzling display reflected in the crystal chandeliers above. The host for the night, comedian Nikki Glaser, stood behind the velvet curtains, fidgeting slightly as she reviewed her monologue one last time. The teleprompter's glow promised safety, but the words felt strangely foreign. She had been preparing for weeks. This was her moment. A chance to dazzle Hollywood's finest, to blend her biting humor with charm and wit. Yet, as she adjusted the hem of her glittering silver gown, a disquieting feeling gnawed at her. It wasn't stage fright. She'd performed countless times before. No. This was something deeper, something she couldn't quite name. The stage manager's voice crackled in her earpiece. "You're on in 5. Nikki. Ready?" Quote. She nodded, inhaled deeply, and stepped onto the stage as the curtains parted. Applause erupted, a thunderous wave that enveloped her. Nikki flashed her trademark grin and strode to the center, bathed in golden light. "Good evening, Hollywood," she began, her voice confident. Or, as I like to call it, the most expensive group therapy session ever assembled. The crowd chuckled politely. She continued, her jokes landing with the usual mix of laughter, gasps, and feigned offense. But as she spoke, the feeling of unease grew stronger. Something was off. She caught glimpses of the audience, faces that looked familiar yet strange. Meryl Streep smiled, but her expression seemed stuck, as if painted on. Brad Pitt's laugh was mechanical, a staccato burst that didn't quite match the rhythm of her punchlines. And then it happened. Midway through a joke about streaming services, Nikki heard an echo. Not the natural reverberation of her voice in the cavernous hall, but an exact duplicate, a split-second delay. "And that's why Netflix keeps canceling the good stuff," she said. "And that's why Netflix keeps canceling the good stuff," the echo repeated, perfectly mirroring her tone and inflection. She froze. The audience didn't seem to notice. They clapped and laughed as if nothing had happened. Nikki blinked, shook her head slightly, and continued, but the echo came again, louder this time. "Maybe we should just hand the awards to AI. At least they work for free," she quipped. "Maybe we should just hand the awards to AI. At least they work for free," the echo repeated, now distinct and unnervingly close. Nikki glanced around, searching for the source. The microphone? A speaker malfunction? But the echo wasn't just a sound. It felt alive, resonating in her chest like a second heartbeat. As the monologue progressed, the echo began to twist her words. "Hollywood's obsession with reboots is out of control," she said. "Hollywood's obsession with reboots is the only thing keeping you relevant," the echo countered, its tone mocking. The audience roared with laughter, oblivious to the shift. Nikki's pulse quickened. She tried to push through, but the echo grew bolder, more invasive. It started finishing her sentences, warping her jokes into cruel reflections of her insecurities. "You ever feel like you don't belong here?" the echo whispered, cutting through her monologue like a knife. She stopped, her breath hitching. The audience stared at her, their expressions vacant now, like mannequins. The applause sign flashed, but no one moved. "Who's doing this?" she demanded, her voice cracking. The echo laughed, a low, chilling sound. "You are." The stage lights flickered. The teleprompter went blank. Nikki turned toward the wings, but the backstage area was gone, replaced by an infinite void of shimmering gold. She spun back to face the audience, only to find the seats empty. And yet, She wasn't alone. Dozens of versions of herself emerged from the shadows, each clad in a different outfit, each holding a microphone. They were her past selves, performing at comedy clubs, hosting roasts, auditioning for roles, their faces twisted with contempt. "Who do you think you are?" one of them sneered. "You're just a joke." Another spat. Nikki backed away, tears streaming down her face. "This isn't real. This isn't real." "But it is," the original Echo said, stepping forward. It wasn't just her voice now. It was her. An identical copy. Flawless and terrifying. "You've spent your life trying to make people laugh. To make them like you. But deep down, you know the truth." "What truth?" Nikki whispered. The doppelganger leaned in, its eyes glinting with malice. "That without their approval. You're nothing." The golden void collapsed inward, swallowing everything. Nikki felt herself falling, tumbling through a kaleidoscope of her memories. Every failure, every humiliation, every desperate attempt to be seen. When she opened her eyes, she was back on stage. The audience was gone. The lights were dim. A single voice echoed through the silence. "And the award for best performance goes to Nikki Glaser, for pretending she ever belonged." She dropped the microphone and ran. But the stage stretched endlessly, trapping her in an unending loop. Outside, the cameras kept rolling, broadcasting nothing but static.